Here we go. For me, tiny, the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Let's see. I could put it maybe a little bit more that way so you guys could see a little more. You're not using the, what you call it? There we go. Hey, welcome everybody on. I'll check to make sure that, let's just make sure we've got everything going. I'm going to make sure I've got audio on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. Welcome, YouTube. Tonight we're talking Toasted Oak versus Char and Charred Oak barrels and the difference and how they're used and everything. So kind of cool. So let's just, you've got the same thing coming from last Monday. Watch live tonight, day off on, thanks, Patrick. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I think I've got the same thing coming from last Monday. What, Randy? What were you talking about? All right, here we go. I'm checking YouTube. I just got to make sure that we are live. There we go. We got the live going. Get that off. Pick this. Here we go. Make sure everything's running. Here we go. All right, it is. There's audio. Everything's going. Let me quick do the welcome. I got to do the welcome. Welcome to. Boy, that's really shouldn't be this hard. Welcome everybody. We are talking Toasted Oak versus Charred Oak and the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Make sure that you let us know where you're from and what you're sipping on tonight. All right, we're ready to go. Hey, Thomas. Thomas is live on YouTube. Hey, Matt. Good to see you. Thanks for popping in. What you sipping on? What's everybody sipping on tonight, Mike? Oh, I think I've got the same thing coming from last Monday. Oh, you got that today? You have to go. Oh, you mean the, yes. Now I'm following Randy. I got to get this up. Oh my God, are you kidding me? What? I didn't put it low enough? All right, let's go back to live. All right, here we go. There we go. Everybody can see that. All right. I don't want to screw that up, but I got to bend it out. There we go. A little bit better. Oh, come on. Not a good thing. And there's not a lot of room here to get it. Everything's falling apart now. Let's see if I can get it. I got it. Without, all right. That was interesting, folks. Was it not? There, I'm looking at myself grab it. Welcome. We're going to get this podcast started. I will monitor. It's good to see you, Thomas. Good to see everybody. Randy, yeah. Water. I'm driving. Okay. Randy's driving. I can put this away now. We'll get it going. Get it clean. Everything. All right. So all I got to do is start the podcast and get it going. I hope everybody's excited. What are you drinking? Sipping on, Matt? I hope you're sipping on something good. And for right now, what we're going to do, everything's good on YouTube. There'll be a 30-second hesitation for the ad, and you'll hear our audio inputs are enabled. What just really? I lost it? How did I lose it? All right. Did I turn off the microphone? That's working. Let's see. Yeah. We got to get technical difficulties here, folks. That's working. Oh my God. Did it really crash? No. All right. Very interesting. Podcast studio report. Oh, reopen. There we go. It should reopen. File. Okay. Let's go podcasts. There it is, toasted oak. Let's see if it opens. Sorry for the technical stuff, guys. That's really weird. Open. Let's hope it does. All right. Did we get the microphone working? Yes, yes. Testing, testing. Okay. Testing, testing. All right, that's going. Yes. All right, we're going to start recording. We're ready. Go. Start countdown. All right. Welcome back to another podcast of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. And I can't find the music, so it's going to. I knew it. There we go. Oh, there you go. Perfect timing, perfect everything. Welcome this podcast tonight. We have been, I really feel that this podcast, me getting back onto the track of podcasting, but I'm sure, hey, Adam, good to see you. I'm sure I'm going to have an issue tonight as far as technical or whatever. It's already started out a little wild. Everything's going good. We got it on track. We're live YouTube. We're live on Facebook, and we're recording for the audio. Um, just remember, tonight's podcast is about double oak and toasted oak, and then also the difference between a charred oak barrel and a toasted oak barrel. We're going to cover that. Plus, this week, it was announced that Kentucky Bourbon Festival tickets in April are going to go on sale. I'll have the details on that. Excited for that because that's one of our premier events. Randy Press, our president of the Scotchy Bourbon Boys, and we refer to him as El Presidente, will be coming on the podcast coming up sometime a little bit in April before the tickets go on sale. But with that said, tonight we'll cover it a little bit and talk a little bit about why you want to get on the website, become a friend of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival so that you could get in on that pre-sale that happens when you sign up at the website. So it's the happening event. I'll give you dates and everything. So there you go. Remember www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Tonight, I'm going to be drinking out of my Crystal Glencairn glass. But the only way you can get this is either become a friend of the podcast or join the Crystal Glencairn club. So if you got one, you're in the club. There's just different ways to get them. But our newest members are Sarah Evans and Randy Ford. Randy Ford's here with us tonight. He's driving along. Let me know what you guys are sipping on. I know that Thomas Anderson is sipping on a Traverse City Barrel Proof 9-year. I also know that what was it? Matt Russell sipping on a Watershed Single Barrel Select. Patrick Taylor doing a Bullet Bottled in Bond. I didn't get it what Walker's sipping on yet, but let me know and I'll just put it out there. And we've got Crystal Pratt here tonight. It's let's see, I can go down. And then also Walker. Yeah, Walker is the Woodford Masters Collection 121.2 batch proofs 2024. Nice, Walker. Thanks. And then health is a perfect reason to drink more whiskey. Yes. Let's see. Anybody else? I'm just trying to see what nope, but if you're here and you are sipping on something, Patrick Taylor is part of the Crystal Glencairn Club, also, along with it's Patrick Finian, and then also Nathan Malaho, one or the other. Adam Grossnickel sipping on some Heaven Hill grain to glass weeded. That's a good one, also. But remember, we did the www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. You can get regular Glencairns on our t-shirts there, but also follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X, along with the major podcast formats, Apple, iHeart, and Spotify. But no matter how you listen or watch us, whether you watch us live, watch us in delay, or you listen to us on the podcast while you're driving, just remember, like, listen, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. That feedback's very important. We love getting good 5-star reviews. You can also do it on Google. We are on Google as a business, so rate us on Google also. So anyways, that gets us to, we are ready to get going with this podcast as far as everything that's happening. All right, my microphone is working and recording, and we are live on YouTube. But what I want to do first is cover what that the double oaks. I mean, double oaks are my favorite. There's a lot of brands of the double oaks. I'm gonna quick from time to time. I will start off with different. I've got a lot here, but I also want to cover our sponsors. So the first sponsor I'm going to mention tonight is Whiskey Thief Distilling. You guys got to check it out. Barrel pick all day, every day. They're in Frankfort, Kentucky, along with Louisville, Kentucky, in the newly opened tasting room. But they've got 5 barrels lined up, 10 up to 10 at the distillery, and Whiskey Thief Distilling Company delivers. You can, for the price of admission, you can thief from 5 different barrels, pick one, and then bottle your own. That's exactly what I did with this. I love the 375 aspect because 750 is usually a lot for me. So, yeah, Adam, it's a great place. And either place, I hung out I was there last Saturday. So it's almost a week. It'll be a week, 2 weeks from this coming Saturday. And I'm telling you, it was fantastic at their tasting room, live music. We watched a basketball game, full bar, everything. And I'm going to tell you, their old fashions thieved right from the barrel. They basically have them in there and they thieve them for you. They're fantastic. That's Whiskey Thief. All right. So the first one I want to cover before I knock off this one. All right. The first one I want to cover, my all-time favorite, and it's Woodford, in my opinion, the best double oak on the market as far as price and what it is Woodford Double Oak. It's my favorite. Let's get out the glasses a little bit here. On this particular one, this was a pick, a batch pick by Walter Zausch, who is the owner of Whiskey Thief. He graciously or granted it to me, but it's basically, let's see what we got here. Bourbon finished in new, heavy, toasted, lightly charred barrels. So in this case, it's first aged as Woodford Reserve, and then it's put in lightly charred toasted oak barrels for the second round. And what I find with Woodford Double Oak, and that's what it's one of my favorite. It's always available, and it's available at the most bars and everything. And I just love this one. I'm going to put a little bit in there, and we're going to do a duel in the end. But tasting this, the notes in this are, especially even in this batch pick, are total butterscotch, caramel, a little bit maybe. Nope. It's just such a good. uh, It's such a good flavor. The toasted aspect of the barrel comes through. And so, with that said, I'm going to basically share the screen real quick with you guys. And you're going to hear Alan Bishop talk about what a toasted barrel is. So, let's get the screen share going. Share. And I'm going to pick. Let's see, he was in there. Yep, that's it right there. That should be it. Share. Yep, that's it. You're going to hear Alan talk about the toasted barrel.
Spices or those sorts of things. A toasted uncharred barrel is not going to be as heavy on the vanillins, for example, and it's not going to be as heavy on the caramels, right? Because you've not caramelized that sugar from the toast level. It's going to be a much more smooth, sort of like butterscotch transition, maybe a little bit buttery, that sort of thing as well. It's not nearly as aggressive on the spirit as what a charred barrel is going to be. And so, therefore, for clean spirits or spirits that don't need a ton of maturation, you don't want that char in there because you're going to overrun all the flavors, especially when you're dealing with something delicate like, say, agave syrup, where agave syrup does not have inherently that roasty, smoky flavor of its own accord, and you have to build it into the fermentation and the distillation. Even then, it's still very volatile, and so we don't want to overrun that with that heavy charred oak. As far as the history of toasted oak barrels, there's a long, long history of toasted oak barrels. So toasted oak barrels actually predate charred barrels quite a bit. If you go back and you look at kind of traditional bourbon lore, and we don't know how much of this is entirely true, where the charred barrel came from, etc. But they were certainly understanding of the fact that in Cognac, France, toasted barrels were being used for cognac, and they are still used for cognac to this day because, again, it's much more of a light, cleaner, elegant, more volatile style spirit that char would just overrun unless you make a very specific bourbon style brandy, which you can do, but there's definitely a place for those charred or those toasted barrels over the charred. I think agave spirits fit that well. Obviously, certain brandies, whether it be apple brandy or it be grape brandy, depending on their distillation style and their fermentation style, because there is a difference between what happens here in the United States and what happens in other countries such as France. I think rums in particular could benefit from toasted oak barrels, and I don't know enough about rums to be able to say one way, shape, form, or the other how common a toasted barrel would be with rum. But I would suspect that of the French tradition with rum production, you would probably see toasted barrels pretty regularly. So yeah, there is a very, very long history of using those that predates using the char here. We actually think the char here may have been adapted from seeing French oak barrels that were toasted for a little bit too long and getting a very light char to them, as it were. Um, so I'm wondering what characteristics of the spirit, maybe what kind of spirits. I kind of answered that, and then what someone could expect from an aged product. So what I'm looking for really with that agave spirit we put in that toast.
All right. So there you go. Alan Bishop talking about that the toast was kind of there before the char. But all right. So there you go what the toasted barrel is. So I've got actually some so this is so the double oak is first in the char and then it's toasted. So we got that out of the way. All right. And then you've got this. I got them both. So Peerless makes a toasted bourbon and a double oak. So I'm gonna kind of see what the difference is. Once again, let's get the witch cullets and read the back of the bottle. The bottle right here. This one says this bourbon whiskey was finished in a toasted barrel, heated with a smaller flame for a more extended period of time than the standard charring method. And then this is toasted, so this is actually finished. So it's double oaked and it toasted, similar to what Woodford Reserve is, which is double oaked in a toasted barrel. Now we've got the double oak. Now the double oak bourbon whiskey twice barreled in new oak. So that tells you right there that this is 2 new oak barrels, and then you've got the toasted barrel. So I really want to put these two up against each other. So I'm going to put the toasted in the one and kind of talk about the flavor difference, and then we'll do a sponsor thing, and then I'll talk about not only the flavor difference, but also I'll talk about what a charred oak barrel, what the purpose is of the charred oak barrel. So I'll put that one right here, and I'll put this one right here. There they are, the toasted versus the double oak. So now compared to this, Peerless is a little bit different distillery compared to Woodford. Woodford is actually Woodford Reserve is partial pot still, and then blended with column still. So it's really kind of interesting. Where Peerless is, I believe, I don't want to say pot still, I want to say column still. Now, the toasted compared to, and I love it, but this actually has, let's see what we got for proof on the toasted. I did have did I put them back? No. Did I put them on there? No. There they are, off to the side here. This proof on the toasted batch 2, it is 109.4. We're 94 I believe 40 is 90.4. So we're 109.4 and 90.4. So 19% more proof, and it drinks that. So you got a little bit more bite too. But with this toast, it tasted like oak toasted. It's got a little bit more caramel and a little bit of pepper. Now, the plain double oak, this is my favorite. I love double oaks. And just like I love, this one's 107.9 and 5051 alcohol volume. Never mind. Okay, so that's what we're looking at there. And this is barrel proof, non-chilled filter, strictly sweet mash, no water added. So there you go. This comes straight from the barrel, and it was placed in 2 barrels that were charred. Now, I really love this double oak. I like the toasted, but the double oak really picks up that barrel proof, even though it's 2/10 lower than 2 proof points lower. It really has that classic bourbon barrel taste, but it also is picking up a sweeter caramel, and the caramel comes through, and it's what I love about double oaks. So there we are there. Now, we want to keep double oaks and toasted. Now, let's talk about Middle West spirits here in the good state of Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, to be to be exact. What Ryan Lang is doing down there is fantastic. He has his original craft distillery going full 24/7. He's got the service bar restaurant open, but he has opened a large property. He's in stage one, which is the distilling stage, but stage 2 and 3, or A, B, and C, we are talking shops and restaurants. And he's got the property. It's just to see it go up from scratch all the way to where we are, and it's the size of like a bean distillery. It's just massive. I can't describe it. I don't have the specs, but it's up and running. And I got to taste. Roxy and CT and I have gotten to taste their white dog coming off those stills, and it's spectacular. You got to get down to Columbus, uh, have dinner, go to the original place. But what's coming is going to be amazing. But their bourbons and their wheat whiskeys and their cask strengths are fantastic. When we do sponsorship, we don't have the sponsors. We're not approached by sponsors. We approach them because we love what they're doing and the whiskeys that they produce. They are on the shelf in 48 states. You got to try this. This is the straight wheat whiskey, but you also have to try the wheated 4-grain bourbon, which is fantastic because it's not only 4 grain, so it's corn, wheat, then barley and rye. Fantastic. You got to try it. So there we go. That is Middle West Spirits here in Columbus, Ohio. Don't want to knock that Glen off. We got that baby back up there. All right. So let's talk about what um a charred barrel is. There's four char. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 chars. So when they said lightly char, it's probably a 1 or a little less. What is the purpose of a char? It's the same purpose. The char it's a double purpose. One, it acts like a charcoal filter. So distillates like that are column stilled. Uh, when they're column stilled, you can't do the heads in the pot still. You basically, uh, you know, distill off the heads, get rid of them. Then you hit the heart, and then when it comes to the tails, you might put a little in, but they're bitter, so then you might re-put them back in. Where in a column still, it's got the heads, the tails, and the the finds or the hearts, and the tails. But where you pull from that column still is where the hearts are. But you can't not get it just pure hearts. Most of the heads are evaporated off, but there's still some in there, and some of the tails are still in there. So the barrel serves as a charcoal filter for these impurities. One, it takes off some of it takes out all the bad stuff, and then it basically takes out some of the bitter flavors of the tails. And so the charcoal filter is very important on the inside of the barrel. And, the whole process of how the barrel works is you basically char it. And if you're at a 4 or 5 char, that whiskey is going to come in and out, and it's going to filter out all the impurities, but it needs time. 2 years probably on a column still isn't the best. It's not getting enough of those impurities. But if you're talking 4, that's probably right when you're getting into the wheelhouse. But places like Maker's Mark, Jim Beam, they're doing 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's their sweet spots for really getting some good bourbon, getting out those flavors. But also the barrel still, the reason why we're talking not so much butterscotch as you're talking about caramel is because with the char, you're caramelizing that sugar, and you're really caramelizing. So it goes through the filter, then through the caramelized sugar, wood sugars, and then into the wood and back and forth. So that's where you pick up a lot of that caramel flavor that everybody loves in bourbons. So what level char is determined by a lot of times if you're doing pot stilling, distilling, you can pick whatever level char you want. But it has to have a char to be a bourbon. You can't just stick it right into a toasted barrel and then expect it to be bourbon because it has to go through. So if you're trying to get a major toast, you might put it in there 4 or 5 years with the number one if you're pot distilling, and you put it in on a number one char, and then you finish it in a toasted. Now on the toasted, you're not actually getting that black charcoal anymore. You're just basically heating up those wood sugars so that their flavor can go in. You're like getting them almost to the point of caramelization. So that's why you pick up some butterscotch, because it mixes, those wood sugars mix after they've been toasted with the actual flavor of the wood. So it's a great finishing aspect, but also it's a great, just putting it in and aging it, but then it wouldn't be bourbon. So there we go as far as the the charred barrel. Now, this one here I just picked up at Yellowstone, and it's just toasted. And I'm really kind of excited about this bottle. We got it, we tried it, I picked it up, and I'll give you the lowdown on that bottle. In 2010, my family and I founded, okay, let's see. Wow. Mention of crafting only the finest whiskey and the dream of restoring the Yellowstone brand to its former glory. In the spring of 2015, over a century after our great grandfather, M.C. Beam, sold his distillery to Yellowstone, that dream came true. The Toasted Barrel Collection is a series of single barrels, each hand-picked and sampled at the distillery. With each barrel comes its own complexities and one-of-a-kind flavor, every one different than the other. From our hearts to from our hearts to fill your glass. Enjoy. That's Stephen Beam. And then Toasted Barrel Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey finished in toasted casks. So there you go. They make it. This one was a single. This was barrel number 27 of 30. So there you go. I was able to pick that up at the distillery when I was down there. We were in by Maker's Mark, stayed, and on our way up to Louisville, stopped off and saw the good folks at Yellowstone. Stephen is in Florida at the time, and I know Stephen Fonte was he's doing a lot of cigar stuff. So I'm gonna dump this in and let's see what we got. So once again, now I will say the Peerless, the little bit of the Peerless toasted I just took, really liked it. It really picked up some really nice flavors. All right, Vincent, Vega, I'm pretty good, brother. And then, oh, I took it off. I haven't been okay. Right on. 4 years is nice. My last blind. Hey Matt, good to see Russell. Was Woodford Double Oak versus Peerless was very similar except hotter. Really like. Yeah, I agree. That's exactly what I would say. It's got a little bit more pepper. Now, pulling in this Yellowstone, can't wait for them to get their Rocky Patel cigars. That's like going to be in a little bit, and I'm going to tell you, you're going to want to do that because what Stephen Fonte loves to do with cigars is fantastic, and he's part of heading up this project. So really kind of cool. All right, the toasted. I've been tasting it all, but I love it. I mean, this is my wheelhouse of what I love. So it's great to be in this. The Peerless toasted is sweeter than the double oak, depending on your palate. Well, you got to also know, depending on which batch you're drinking, Walker, from batch to batch, it differs. I mean, some of the batches that I've had off the shelf, a lot of times I find that the batches off the shelf are what with Woodford Double Oak. We're not always drinking. Me and you are drinking a lot of barrel picks, and yes, I agree with the barrel picks. A lot of them don't deliver that sweetness. Whereas off the shelf, I mean, I have it. The butterscotch on there is just amazing. So here we go for the. It picks up all the toasted. Now this one picks up a lot more of. This is probably the oakiest so far. Um, not as sweet as the other ones, but from a standpoint of if I was going to smoke a cigar, this would be out of all of them. This is the cigar batch for the toasted. It's 100 proof, so I really enjoy this one. Does a really nice thing in the glass, and it's pretty nice. All right, so that brings me to the next double oak. This is the old Jet Brothers done by Neely. If you take a look at that, baby, I love this thing. This bottle's special to me because this is Kentucky straight bourbon. I'll get more into the. All right, all right. Now where did I do with them? I'm always putting them someplace. I thought I set them over here. No? How did they disappear? There they are. They're over here now. Glasses going all over the place. Let's see. I've got this one. It's the old Jet Brothers. This is Neely, Kentucky 6th District. Okay, so this is pot distilled and bottled by Neely Family Distillery, Sparta, Kentucky. This is Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, their bourbon pot distilled whiskey, finished in new toasted French oak. 106.5, finish time was 14 months. Now, Rebecca and us have been, she has allowed us in the past to go through and thief from the barrels. And this barrel was the day that we were there, it was a cold day. And she drilled this barrel. And honestly, this was one of my favorite things out of the barrel. It was so good. And we told her it had to be about 13 and a half months that was ready. And so it got bottled as an old Jet Brother. I made sure I got it. Haven't had it for a little bit. Had some time to sit on the shelf, and I'm just excited to try it one more time. All right. This is a fun podcast so far. Can't drink too much. All right. So, the nose on it. It's French toast. These French oak barrels they got brand new. This was a spectacular straight from the barrel. And once again, they put it out barrel proof. So I was really excited, and it did disappoint. I'm telling you, wow. Sweetness, a really nice butterscotch, a really good pot still flavor. What is that? It's so sweet. This is so delicious. I love that one. If you get a chance while you're at there, Old Jet Brothers finished in French oak casks. I mean, fantastic. That's a good one. All right. So that brings us to why we're here tonight. Well, I could quick. Greg Schneider, when he was working at Chicken Cock, they had gotten some whiskey that wasn't bourbon. It was bourbon, had to be put in used barrels, and it wasn't good. So he finished it off in brand new French oak casks. And honestly, does the spice species of oak have a different effect? My question is, French oak better or worse than American white oak? I'm going to tell you that most of the time, French oak, I believe, is a little bit nice. Comes up with a little bit more sweetness when it toasts. Some of those French oak staves, like for instance, we have a double oaked, which is the Lillian Sinclair. And I don't know if I actually have the bottle. I should have my Lillian Sinclair. Or here's the 5-year, which we did a double oaking, which we finished it with straight Kentucky bourbon finished. This one with which was 5.5 years was finished. No, this was not. I want to say no. This was straight up whatever. That was not finished with French oak staves. Our Lillian Sinclair was, I'm not sure if I got a Lillian here, but I'm going to look. Old Clifty. I got so much right there, Maddie. Hindu Falls. I don't know. There's the Lee W. Sinclair. There's that. Nope, I don't got. The Lillian is right back here. So we've got the Lillian Sinclair, which was finished with the French oak site. So that was a nice double oak. If you guys are interested in picking up that one, I do actually have that available. So if someone wants to pick up our Lillian Sinclair, let me know. It's a special Alan Bishop special one. Now I'm going to talk about this chicken cock. This was another way to do double oaking. One, it was in a used barrel, then it was put into a brand new, so it was like back bourbon. It originally was in used barrels, and it just didn't cut it. So Greg put it in brand new French oak barrels and pulled off a double oak that's delicious. Once again, that sweetness that oak comes out, and these were French oak barrels. I really feel that French oak is my sweet spot. So that's kind of how I go there. So, all right, that brings us to the old Louisville barrel banging. Let's call it, it's called the old Louisville barrel bottled breakdown. The barrel bottle breakdown is based off of a rating scale of knocks that I make with this bung hammer. And it is 4 knocks, up to 4 knocks for the nose and up to 4 knocks for the body. And then 5 knocks for the taste and 5 knocks for the finish. So, this particular old Louisville whiskey company in Louisville, Kentucky, Amin there if you stop in, and he will show you a really good time, and you'll get into some fantastic stuff. He has barrels and everything, and when you leave, you get a bottle in a velvet case. I mean, it's like none other. And the old Louisville Woodford Reserve, the old Louisville Whiskey Company barrel bottle breakdown is Woodford Reserve Double Oak. Really kind of cool. Super Nash had this bottle. I was hoping he'd be on tonight so we could barrel bottle, so we could barrel bottle breakdown together, but once again, he's been busy. So it's just me barrel bottle breaking down. This bottle is not cheap, but the availability and what I've tasted so far has been like no other. And it's called Double Oak. So now we're taking it one step further. And I think I really enjoy that. So let's talk about this Woodford. I love Woodford Double Oak. So this normally was $3.75. This bottle here is liquid profile extra aged, 700 milliliter. It's still 90.4 proof, like most Woodford Reserve, unless it's the few extra ones like Walker's sipping on tonight. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey finished in heavy toasted new oak. So there you go. Heavy toasted, which means it's not but they call it double oak. So I'm going to crack it. That's what I do. We're going to, I can give you mine. I want yours. I love it. Here we go. In colder to cool climates. In warmer climates, the initial aging American white oak is both traditional and preferred. I would say that depends on aging and the environment. It's preferred, honestly, Walker, when it comes to the first maturation. 100%, I agree with you. But as far as what you're looking at, as far as those as far as Maker's Mark and the staves they're dropping in French oak staves, the majority of it, and they get some damn good stuff off those French oak staves. And I just think for finishing, I prefer the French oak. So that's just me personally. I think it adds a little bit more the French oak adds a little bit more sweetness that I like. It's more the toast and the oak is more butterscotch opposed to caramel. The caramels, but that's just my opinion, as you said, Randy. Oh, here we go. I'm doing it. So here we go. But what they built the white brand from it for sure. Ah, the nose. I need a little bit more here. It's very toasted. There's not a it's not a you can smell the toast. Let's give it a I've never rolled the Crystal Glencairn. Does it work? Let's see. It makes a really cool noise, that's for sure. All right. Oh, it popped out. Oh, 5 American, 5 French oak. Yeah, that's good. Oh, the nose on this is spectacular. I could just smell that all day. It just smells like pure French toast with powdered sugar and a little bit of chocolate. Okay, the nose on that, as far as the knocks go, I am going to give that nose a 4. Now, let's do the body. Damn, that's delicious. That double oak, there. How do you get French oak here in the U.S.? When it comes to barrels, there's a whole huge barrel network, Ricky. Um, it's like on the circuit. There's barrel. What are they're I wouldn't say it's not barrel dealers. They're barrel. Oh, the word I'm looking for is we have a paper. I forget the word's not coming to me, but they basically represent different barrels that go on the market. That's how we get all of the barrel, the staves and the barrels. You buy them through representative. They're representatives and they're brokered. Thank you, Walker. I didn't see broker. I said broker and then I looked and you're always there for me, man. Yes, the nose was a 4. The body, what it does in the glass is unfreaking believable. The legs are so long, they're just dripping straight down all the way top to bottom running back in. Um I would say, oh my god, not the cheeks. I would say for the body, this is a 3. At 90.4, a 3 is pretty damn good. I was wondering if everybody can hear that. I don't know if they can, but I thought they might be able to. Um, Now, when it comes to the taste, there's only 4, Randy. You can only give the you can't give it a 4.5 unless you give it a butt up. You could give it a 5 and give it a butt up. But I think the body's a 3 for me because it just doesn't hit my cheeks. At 90.4, a 3 is like what you usually can get as far as the best at 90.4, in my opinion. It just has to fill my mouth all the way. everywhere, but it's really good. Um, Taste, which you could go to 5. The flavor of this is so freaking fantastic. Oh my god. Um, that bottle is everything and then some. There is this one. I will say, okay, Randy gives that, but I'm going to give the taste a 5 and a but up. It's just my wheelhouse. That's what it gets. So there you go. Oh, thanks for coming in, Ricky. I'm glad that you watched. All right, so body. Here we go. It picks up this oaky flavor. Like if you like leather and oak, I thought the taste to me, Randy, is just in my. I gave it a 6. If you like leather and oak, this is it picks that up. But then there's that French toast thing, and then it goes on forever. So I will give this a 4. So that the double oak Woodford is his top 5. I'm telling you, strings, that the double oak will be your top then, because it's fantastic, a spectacular, and if you take 5 and 6 is 11, and 3 and 4 is 7, it picks up it 4 and 6 is 10, and then 3 and 4. So it picks up a 17 out of 18 rating. So I really find this to be a fantastic. I would recommend it. The price is pricey, but the flavor just delivers. It delivers. Yeah, Walker, you're very knowledgeable. Same thing with Randy. Randy's knowledge of non-Kentucky distilleries is mind-boggling. So there we are, 17 out of 18 on the Woodford Reserve. Lately, it's just been the old Louisville uh, companies, barrel bottle breakdowns have been spectacular. So that brings me to the Spirit of French Lick, our other sponsor. We have, it's so funny. There's a Lillian Sinclair. I should drop this in. This is a double oaked. We dropped. This was aged for 3 years, and then about 2.5 months of aging with the French oak stave that we picked. So, so the Spirit of French Lick is in French Lick, Indiana. Spectacular whiskey there that was distilled by Alan Bishop, who is now at Old Homestead. But our last 2 barrel picks were his last 2 barrel picks, and the last time he was in the distillery. So check it out. Check out the Spirit of French Lick in French Lick, Indiana. If you're in that area of Indiana, you've got French Lick, you've got Starlight, and you now have Old Homestead at Patoka Lake, which then takes me into where Alan Bishop is. And we did a segment of Alan Bishop tonight and the One Piece at a Time Distilling Institute, which you got to check out on YouTube. And then also his If You Have Ghosts, You Have Everything podcast, spectacular podcast about spirits in the spirits industry and the people who have experienced the spirits in the spirits industry and the occult also. So really kind of cool what he does. If you have ghosts, you have everything, check it out. Well worth it. Great podcast, and Alan Bishop's a great guy. And and then also his stuff is at the Spirit of French Lick. And if you want to pick up the Lee Sinclair line, and he's got the William Dalton line. But if you're interested in William Dalton or Lillian Sinclair on barrel picks, contact me. There, I've got that available. All right, so we've done that, and I've got the Lillian. Now that, oh, what is it? It tastes like a chocolate donut. Very, very good with that French oak stave and the 3-year-old respect the grain, 4-grain bourbon. Uh, Fantastic pot stilled whiskey. You can't go wrong. All right. So all I've got left, I'm going to talk about a little bit is I got a couple ones. I was able to go to get the double oak at Peerless, but they had a special release single barrels, right? Well, they sold this nice 200 milliliter at 112.5, which was a double oak, which was a great thing for me because I've experienced this 3 or 4 times, and I'm going to take a little bit of that while I talk about the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. All right, so here we go. I'm going to share the screen again. Kentucky Bourbon Festival's coming up, folks. The tickets are going to go on sale. So I did a really good job of share screening there too. I've got the email. All right. So that's up, everybody, so it says, get ready to raise a glass at the 34th annual Kentucky Bourbon Festival happening September 5th through 7th, 2025 in Bardstown, Kentucky. The bourbon capital of the world. As so if you subscribe, which I have, and you just have to go to the website and subscribe, we're we're thrilled to give you the inside scoop. Tickets go on sale April 17th with exclusive early access for bourbon insiders like myself on April 16th. This year, we're offering 6 incredible ticket options from the single day Sunday sampler to the bourbon taster weekend pass, all the way up to our premium VIP experiences, including the brand new Oris Presidential Club. Every pass includes unlimited reentry, sampling of over 60 distilleries, exclusive KBF single barrel picks, and expanded programming for premium events. Sip rare whiskeys and festival only Distiller Rose series bottles with lockers to stash your finds. Enjoy expanded programming in the Great Tent featuring master distillers, chefs, and mixology. Shop bourbon inspired goods from top brands like Oris, Jacob Bromwell, and Clayton and Coombe. VIP perks like early entry, bottle signings, and access to the VIP lodge with your premium pours. Our VIP packages sold out in just 10 minutes last year, so mark your calendars. Bourbon Insiders can snag tickets starting April 16th at KentuckyBourbonFestival.com. Prices for weekend passes start at $190 for bourbon taster tickets and go up to $6,995 for the exclusive Oris Presidential Club, which offers a year-round membership limited to just 24 guests. This elite experience includes everything in our VIP packages: early entry, bottle signings, and Crystal Glencairn glass, a bourbon locker, and a VIP lounge access. Plus exclusive perks, access to the VIP penthouse overlooking the festival ground, a spring bourbon experience, a fall-winter Kentucky Bourbon Festival reception, a 3-night stay at the Trail Hotel in Bardstown, private shuttle service to and from the festival, and limited edition Oris watch to commemorate your membership. Just join us at the Celebrate the National Bourbon Heritage Month with bourbon lovers from around the globe. Whether you're meeting master distillers, discovering new favorites, or sipping in style, there's nothing quite like Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Stay tuned for more updates and get ready to secure your spot. So you got to go to I'm going to get back. There we go. You got to go to the website, kbfbourbonfestival.com, and check it out. Check out if you want to be an insider, but that is the premier bourbon experience. And let me get out of this right here so I can see some of the comments. Where did we go? There we are. So the Bourbon Festival last year was fantastic with the cigar lounge. We hung out with Stephen Fontes. You get to see all the master distillers there. They all have different things. Plus, the releases are out of this world. Not only do they release their single barrels, but every single distillery now releases special edition stuff that they, for instance, cellar aged Maker's Mark. You're able to pick that up. I'm sure the Woodford Double Oak will be there. There's certain things. I mean, Heaven Hill just kills it with their private um, select stuff they release, and then also all the different things. And then the other place, Brown and Foreman, also kills it. I was able to pick up a bunch of stuff from Brown and Foreman last year. I look forward to it. Beam, there was Little Book, uh, there was Booker's which was the Reserve, which will be coming out. I mean, it's such a release time. Fantastic bourbon to pick up. And there's enough for everybody that's there. Plus, you can try all over 200 different spirits while you're there. The weekend pass is 3 days, so you want to do that, and you just want to. It's excellent. So I will 100% support that, and you want to do it. So the Double Oak Woodford, okay. So I mean, we had such a good time when you're walking around. It's just such good weather. Now this year it's moved up another week, the 5th through the 7th. So you're talking about that first. I believe Monday is I want to say Monday's Memorial Day, or is it late? It's Labor Day. Monday's Labor Day, and that Thursday is Bourbon in the Air. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So fantastic, fantastic. It's going to be a fantastic weekend, and you don't want to miss it. And you need to get your tickets. The weekend pass is good enough for anybody. I mean, there's so much whiskey to taste, so many events to go to just on the 190. Where can you go if you divide 190 divided by 3? That's like 63.75 per ticket per day. And I mean 63.75 day, and you can drink as much whiskey and taste as much whiskey as you want. Fantastic. If you get a chance, check out those VIP things. And definitely go to the website and make sure that you hit that all up. So that's where we're at there. I'm trying to get this. Okay. All right. So yeah, okay, that's the where I am behind. I know. It's so funny. Go well. They go well too. Okay. All right. So that brings me to the last. I don't, it just pours past that. Stop it. Stop it. Okay, thank you. Um, so the next one we covered. Okay, so Rosewood Bourbon and Rye, which is Jason Giles in Texas, fantastic guy. He put that out there on the shelf. It's not being distributed now, but whatever's on the shelf is there. So if you see a Rosewood bourbon or rye, I suggest you pick it up. His Kentucky and Indiana bourbons that he takes back to Texas and ages them for one season there, spectacular. Really good. You should definitely check that one out. All right. So last but not least, on a double oak, Makers makes a wood finishing series, and it's fantastic. And here we go. I have the Heart 2024 collection. This is, and we check out our recent podcast with Amanda. Okay, I could do this. Amanda Humphreys at Maker's Mark from Maker's Mark. She's in charge of their experiences, and she's just all around in charge in there. So Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey barrel finished with 10 virgin oak staves. So once again, it is uh this is a double oaked whiskey and or bourbon. So it's finished with oak staves, which keep it a bourbon because I'm pretty sure Makers has done this part of the process and they were able to keep it bourbon. Boom. So we're going to put that in there as a finishing point. This Heart collection. for 2024. Caramel, chocolate, and maple. Put that up there. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. We covered the Kentucky Bourbon Festival. Hey, Pat, cheers, man. Hopping off to go spend a little time with the family. Yep. All right. Cheers, Patrick. Thanks for watching tonight. We're finishing up right now. There's no and. Hey, you know me. I'm tiny, and maybe there should be brown in Foreman. I like to say maybe there's an in Foreman. How about that? SEPR in the 2020. I need it to open for about 10 months. Going to pass you some SEPR5 from 2020. It needed to be open for about 10 months. Now it's nectar. That's great. All right. Oh, that was fantastic. Fantastic. This is just my jam is double oak and toasted oak. I love them. I love them. And there's another one, Elijah Craig toasted, which I like also. So that's another one. So I've had that before. Actually, that's what started off the whole internet thing with me. I've had a lot of fun with that. All right. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining me tonight. Oh, man, that wood finishing on Makers, the sweetness is there, but that's like they really put, by it being the white oak, the 10 white oak staves, you really get the feel of the oak. So if you like a really oaky bourbon, boom, this is it. Fantastic. All right, so www.scotchybourbonboys.com for all things Scotchy Bourbon Boys. Also, remember, we're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X. Also, we're on Apple, iHeart, Spotify, and also all podcast media. And Adam, thanks for the cheers, man. Thanks for coming in and watching tonight. I really appreciate it. And then remember, no matter where you listen or watch us, remember you gotta you gotta oh my god. So we're really gonna have a problem with this. You got to comment. You gotta well, why am I having a problem? Listen, like, comment, subscribe, and leave good feedback. There you go. I don't know why it's like something that doesn't come to me after I've said it a million times. But remember, good bourbon equals good times. And well, let me start this off by finding where I gotta go. I found it when I was messing around. It's so bizarre. I like all of a sudden picked it up and then put it away. There it is. All right. Good bourbon equals good times and good friends. Remember, don't drink and drive, drink responsibly, and live your life uncut and unfiltered. And little Stevo will take us out.
Oh, show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. Show me the way to the next whiskey bar. Oh, don't ask why. Oh, don't ask why. For if we don't find the next whiskey bar, I tell you we must die. I tell you we must die. I tell you, I tell you, I tell you we must die.
All right. Got that covered. Let me save it. All right. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them. You know, it's great. Drink respond. Yeah, I feel Walker. Sometimes you could finish that up for me better than way better than Super Nash does. All right, I'm just saving this. That's why I'm not published to uploading. Toasted double Scotch. Nope, it's gonna try and save it there. I gotta put it to the Scotchy Bourbon Boys. There we go. So save. There we go. We're building the episode. Isn't that? Yep. Here's so proof oak. What's a double oak? This right here is a double oak. This Woodford Reserve is a, you can see it, double oaked. That has been, they say it by, it's a heavily, it's a heavily toasted secondary barrel, but it picks up. I mean, honestly, we gave this an 18 out of 19 on the podcast. Isn't there a triple? No, there. I think double is as far as you can go before you just over oak the living crap out of it. Yeah, you're a whiskey walker. I think you're a walk. Well, yeah, that could be it. A whiskey walker. There you go. He got his own title. So, but this one here's a double oak, not a double. It's got 10. Well, I mean, it's 10 times oaks with those 10 oak staves dropped in. I mean, that one's a pretty damn good one. We covered it pretty good tonight. I really think that was a good podcast. Which triple oak? What's the brand, Randy? Thank you, Connor. You don't have to know much about alcohol. Alcohol's an experience, a personal experience that everybody has. So just it's all based off when you start your own experience. We drink we cover whiskey here. Follow along. It's for beginners and for um, people who have been doing it along. What you'll find here is we're a great group. We like people. We like to hang out on Tuesday and Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with everybody out there in the spirits world. But I mean, you'll learn a lot, and the people that are here are friendly. We like seriously love to have you join in. If you don't have to know a lot, you can pick up certain things, and then we pick out flavors and tastes that you might not think. This is about sipping, not about getting drunk and whatever. And it's quite quite the fun experience. So thanks for watching tonight. Oh, we got a guy from Turkey. Hey, glad here. Thanks for stopping in. Bondstone has one, so does Angel's Envy, a triple oak. I have no idea what Angel's Envy. This year they are the sponsor, the main sponsor of the Kentucky Bourbon Festival, and I do believe I had. Oh yes, at what was at the Christmas party, Randy, that Matt Lysen bought us all as far as the Angel's Envy, that I finally found one that I liked, extremely liked. But anyways, everybody, I really appreciate. Oh, Walker came over and commented on YouTube. Yeah, decent. It's like we had a decent representative of YouTube. Everybody on YouTube, thanks for joining us. We go live on most Tuesday, Thursday nights. If I'm not live and I'm not there, I usually try and post the podcast a day before, so you can check out the post to see if it's happening. But what I will tell you is if I'm not here, I'm out someplace traveling, getting bourbon experiences to put up at another time. But last week I was on an actual vacation. I was able to get the Maker's Mark one, but I got to get it up on YouTube because the video of the Maker's Mark was quite spectacular, and Amanda Humphreys was perfect, and it was a great experience at Maker's Mark. So, anyways, yeah, that double oak. I'm gonna take some up to Roxy. God, that's good. Almost drank. I can't drink anymore, but she gets some. I'll give her a decent pour off that. God, that's good. That double oak, man. That is a good bourbon. You get those. That's right up there, Randy, for me. Cast strength, bought by Matt Leisen. Thank you there, Walker. Appreciate it. Well, I'm going to sign off on YouTube and then we'll sign off on Facebook. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. And I'll get this up, and I got a bunch of stuff I got to do. All right. So thanks again, everybody on YouTube. See you next Tuesday. And that right there.